inside the gym at Leominster High School. We welcome you to another edition of Leominster High School basketball here on Leominster TV. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Leominster TV tonight, as the girls take center stage on their quest to make their way to district playoff eligibility. They find their way at 9 wins coming into tonight. We'll have more on that number in a moment, but 9 wins looking for their 10th, and they can do it tonight against the Marlborough Panthers, who present their opposition. Now, this is a Panthers team that comes in with 12 wins, 3 losses, all 3 losses coming in mid-watch B. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils on a winning streak. 4 wins in a row, looking for a 5th and district eligibility tonight. I turn first to my broadcast partner, Bill Thomas. And Bill, of course, when you're on that verge, this win is also very important for these girls. They'd like to get that over with tonight and know that they've taken the first step toward playoff eligibility.
Yeah, absolutely, Todd. You know, 10, we talk about 10 coming into the season. That's the key number. Of course, I asked Russ, he goes, we were talking about 10. He goes, Rusty's the coach. No, we talk about going 20-0. But we were joking about it. I got to talk to him pre-game here before we came on the air. But he's in a good mood, and he should be. The girls have bounced back from 4-5 at midseason now, 4 in a row, plus tossing a forfeit. All of a sudden, they're at 9 wins, and they're looking really good. They're playing good. And when we get into it a little bit later, I got some numbers I'll toss around to back that up.
Kate, this team will find themselves some odd motivation in different places. You never know what's going to motivate you. But sometimes you find that if you either don't feel like you have the community support, or maybe somebody says something in a printed tabloid, you never know what might get information across. But, you know, all athletes are different, whether they're able to channel that or not. It appears these girls have channeled that into a positive direction. They've turned it into 4 wins.
And that is certainly something. What motivates me? Food. Always. Always. So, you know, you want me to do something extraordinary.
Put a picture of pizza
just feed me.
up on the blackboard.
Just feed me. But for these girls, clearly, they don't have the food problem. But, yeah, exterior motivation, sometimes you need a little bit of bulletin board material. And, you know, word has it they might have gotten some about a week ago. They also have some new motivation. They've got some new duds tonight, new unis coming out, looking pretty sharp in their home whites tonight. So one of the things, again, we've talked about, basketball season is a lengthy season, especially considering this is Coach Frederick's first full season as the head varsity coach. So you're coming in, there's a lot of excitement with the start of a new season. You come out in the beginning of your season, you go 4-5. That's not exactly the most fortuitous start for your program, but sometimes, especially in those transition periods where you have a new coaching staff establishing their system, you have a little bit of growing pains. And right now, the hope is that by the time you hit that mid-season mark, you can really start to hit your stride. So if the Blue Devils are fortunate enough to be able to garner their 10th win tonight, now you have to really start looking, we have to start playing our best basketball as we're going into the postseason. So it's a very organic, kind of evolving thing when you're talking about the emotions, the ebbs and flows of the season, as it were. And so first things first, you need number 10. You can't do anything before you get number 10, and hopefully for the Lady Blue Devils that they can get beyond that number sooner rather than later.
And of course, with this Lady Blue Devils team and the appearances they've had here on Leominster TV this year, you've never known which team was ultimately going to show up. Early on in the season, their game against Shrewsbury, they struggled from the foul line and they struggled to produce points. Come back a month or so later, they're battling arch rival Fitchburg on the road, and all of a sudden they couldn't miss. Points were coming in all directions. So Bill Thomas, they've certainly seen themselves some growth, but they've got themselves in a battle tonight against the Buzzsaw. A division down is Marlborough, much like Fitchburg is, but 12-3 is nothing to shake a stick at.
No, and they play in a division down that's every bit as equal as the A division. Neshoba, I don't care what sport they're playing in, they're competitive season in, season out, and you know, they also got Groton Dunstable has turned into a formidable sports opponent in that division, and that's where their 3 losses have come to those 2 teams. But we like to talk about numbers, and let's focus a little bit on Leominster. You know, they started out 4-5. They were struggling on both ends of the court offensively, only averaging about 38, but a couple of bad blowouts, giving up an average of 52 in those first 9 games. But let's look at the last 5. 4-1, they're averaging 53-4 and only giving up 44. That's a pretty big turnaround, and that'll lead to a change in your season when it comes to playing that kind of basketball. They're scoring, but they're also playing defense. and you got to put both of those aspects together. The Leominster girls have done that very well, and it's turned their season around at a very fortuitous time too, because the meat of the schedule, and everybody's looking at the playoffs now.
Indeed they are, and the playoffs are where the attention is at. The Panthers are in. The Blue Devils need a win, and they're in with plenty of games to go. So it doesn't have to happen tonight, but they'd like to hit their 5th in a row and qualify for district playoff contention. We'll have it all for you here with tip-off next. You're watching Leominster High School Hoops right here on Leominster TV.
Don't make us talk about you tonight.
Back inside the gym at Leominster High School. We welcome you courtside to our broadcast position once again, alongside Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Leominster TV tonight. Bill giving some good-natured chiding to the gentlemen in stripes before we even get started here courtside. Nothing has even happened yet. It's Leominster and Marlborough girls basketball here on Leominster TV. Happy to have you along with us on this Tuesday night.
Luckily, they're good-natured.
Absolutely.
Indeed. They are.
All in fun.
Everybody is good-natured before the game starts.
You haven't
Who
heard
can
from
get
the
mad
MIA,
at you?
You haven't heard from the MIA in a couple of seasons now, so it's all good. We're on their speed dial list.
I am. I'm refraining from comment. Basketball. Here we come. Faith Akachiri to take the tip at center court. Ball is up. Akachiri will tip the ball laterally along the inbound line. They say it was a held ball. Both.
He didn't like it. Let's do it again.
Equally touched.
Let's do it again.
So the officials are going to send it up again. The jump again. Akachiri wins again. This time controlled by Smith into the front court to our right. Crosses the three-point line. Gets to about the left elbow. Pops the mid-range jumper. Leominster's on the board 2-0.
What a sounds of the floor.
I was going to say, we got a little bit of interior sound there for you. Panthers control half court to our left. Cutter on the give and go. Down the lane. Shot missed there by Capadonna. Had a wide open look at it and couldn't finish. Smith comes right back up floor. Finds Grace Adams. Pops off a three. Won't go. Loose basketball tipped on the floor. Picked by the Panthers. 2-0 Leominster. 7:18 to play here in quarter number 1. Capadonna gets a wide open look at three. That was like practice as everybody stopped, but a rebound down and laid in there for Sarah Ortlich. And we're tied at 2.
One thing Coach Fredericks told me is expect a lot of three-pointers. Marlborough likes to bomb them from behind the arc.
Nice job by Grace.
Inside pass, yeah, Grace Adams with the finish. She got the look from Ivana Akachiri. Leominster goes with the usual starting 5. It's Skylar Finnegan, Giovanna Smith, Faith Akachiri in the middle with Grace Adams and Ivana Akachiri. Jumper for 3 down the floor for the Panthers. Won't go for Nicole Gallick. Loose basketball and eventually last touched by the Panthers. They tried to keep it in bounds but couldn't. Gallick tried the hustle play, couldn't keep it alive, so Leominster gets the basketball back. Panthers starting 5, they go with Celine Alnamari and Lucy Capadonna, Emma Hennessy and Nicole Gallick, and Ciara Shanahan. They're missing 2, Bill Thomas, key players. Leanne Whitem, good for about almost 10 points a game. Kathleen Binkowitz, also a formidable scorer.
Yeah, especially Leanne Whitem, a part of what I would call Marlborough's Big 4. She comes in averaging close to 9.8, but she's missed the last 2 games. Both Marlborough wins, but she's going to be missed.
4-2 Leominster's leads, 6 1/4 remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers control half court to the left. We're in the road, black, tops and bottoms trimmed in white, orange front and back on the trim. Got the Panther paw right above the numerals on the back of the jerseys. Here's the dribble drive for Capadonna, got it on the rim, but it would not fall. Rebound by Ivana Akachiri, and she's trying and will successfully run it out of trouble.
Boy.
Skylar Finnegan got the basketball, pushed a pass off and bit it, got back up on her feet, swings the ball to the near side for Ivana Akachiri, and a reach in on Ciara Shanahan will be the call. Blue Devils will control.
Skylar Finnegan just got bulldozed.
Indeed she did.
She did.
Like
ran into a brick wall there. Tell you, good
boy.
job of the Blue Devils working the ball up the court there and a lot of traffic.
That's Shanahan's team first for the Panthers.
Adams on the inbounds through Faith Akachiri, but it rolls its way to Finnegan. Finnegan back and forth across the top of the arc. The underhand for Adams. Adams for Smith. And the weave runs at the point. Now Smith slash to the basket. Won't go too strong. And the rebound down in the hands of Al-Namari. Blue Devils wearing the new home white tops and bottoms. Lots of royal blue around the trims with a little bit of a splash of black and royal blue around the waistbands. You got the running devil on the L's on either side of the shorts. On the backside there, you can see a large swath of royal blue just above the numerals. A little low on the jerseys there. They run pretty close to the waistlines.
Numbers are kind of thick, too. And, you know, and I'm out there, I'm looking for Grace Adams, and I don't see 20. She's changed her number to 12. Which has thrown me for a little bit of a loop tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, good pickup, Bill Thomas. I was looking at the face, not the number. Jumper is good if it goes, and Al-Namari off the mark. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, you know the girls better than I do, Todd. I'm trying to match up the numbers, and I know Gracie a little bit, but I'm seeing 12, and apparently she's trying to change her luck there by changing her number a little bit.
Indeed.
Or they just didn't have a number 12 jersey.
Or 20.
Oh, 20,
no
20
jersey.
No 20.
They get a 12 with the new ones.
Or they didn't have a 12 in the old.
That's right.
Maybe that's her favorite number. She couldn't wear it before. Whatever reason,
we'll get
she's
to the
got
bottom
a different
of
number
this.
tonight.
Say, the importance.
Still the same player.
We'll get it done. Ivana Akacheri on the drive got fouled.
Shanahan picks up her team second for the Panthers.
And Coach Sean Mahoney will send a sub into the ball game. It's Alessandra Messina will check in for Shanahan. 4:40 to play here in quarter one. A 4-2 Leominster lead. Leominster not exactly lighting things on fire, but they do appear to be in control of the game until Ivana Akacheri throws the basketball away. An unforced error, and here come the Panthers with Gaelic over half court. With the kick, tried the no-look pass to Al-Namari, found Coach Rusty Fredericks of the Blue Devils.
Good hands by Coach.
Out of bounds, the ball back to Leominster.
Ball slow.
Did you see his no-look pass to the official?
Slow start to the ball game here.
Indeed.
Scoring-wise, but a lot of action.
Halfway through quarter number one, Smith, the wide open three, buries it.
Giovanna doing the only scoring so far tonight.
Grace Adams has the layup.
7-2, the lead is 5, halfway through quarter one.
Oh, there we are. I'm looking at the wrong number.
Nice find. They were looking for Messina. Couldn't get it. Second opportunity on the possession. The put back up there for Orentlich. And can't get it to go, but drew a foul, and she'll go to the line to shoot two.
Curly White picks up her team first for the Blue Devils.
Al-Namari will check out, and Emma Hennessy back into the basketball game.
Panthers already with 8 missed shots in this first quarter.
Orentlich second away. That one won't go. 0 of 2 on the trip, and as we pass the 4-minute mark here of quarter number one, still a 5-point Leominster lead at 7-2. Here's Finnegan, gets some look, 3 off mark just to the left, and the rebound down in the hands of Capadonna.
Not the type of possession that you want if you're on the offensive end, not taking enough time, not taking enough looks.
Oh, that's
possession.
coming back.
Yes, indeed, a throwaway by Hennessy. Finnegan will run it down. Got some space, pops up the
good
2,
job.
and buries it.
That's the way to take advantage of that turnover.
And that forces Coach Sean Mahoney to take a timeout with 3:27 to play here in the first quarter and a 9-2 Leominster lead.
Good job by Finnegan there, not waiting for the defense to get back. Didn't try to challenge, to the basket, but a nice 10-footer there. Nice opening quarter here by Leominster, 9-2. Good way to start. We talked about points for and points against, and it's all about getting that fast start.
Indeed it is, and Leominster has at least achieved a 7-point lead, so we'll call it a fast start, Bill Thomas. But the one thing that we haven't seen is clean basketball.
Correctamundo.
A lot of back and forth, but, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams are a little tight. I mean, they know they're both formidable. Neither team is overlooking the other team. I wouldn't call this the proverbial trap game sometimes like we see schools run into. But I think it's a good test for both teams, but Marlborough will find their legs. It's all about the three-pointer when it comes to Marlborough, and they're not going to stop launching them until they start going in. And if they don't go in, they're still going to keep launching them.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Right now, I've been very pleased on the stat sheet. Fundamentally, Leominster is looking like they're doing a really nice job, clean basketball thus far. They only have 3 missed shots, 2 of them are from 3-point range. The only offensive possession I really didn't enjoy seeing is the Finnegan quick shot from behind the 3-point arc. I didn't necessarily think she had the cleanest of looks. Otherwise, I've been seeing a lot of nice passing, waiting and being very patient to get the shot that they want right now from the Blue Devils.
Half-court defense for the Blue Devils allows the Panthers across the stripe, set up the offense. They go inside looking for Rentlich. She can't finish. And here comes Finnegan back down floor. Finnegan for Adams. Swing it to Smith. Going to go inside, and that's picked off by Galiak. Goes out floor on the outlet, finds Capadonna. Throws on the brakes. Back for Galiak. Pirouette into the corner. Finds its way Hennessy. All the way to the corner, Capadonna finds her way. Now the drive got held up by Finnegan before she started her move to the basket. It'll be a Panther possession under.
That'll be Finnegan's first, team's second for the Blue Devils. You don't hear a play-by-play announcer, Billy, say pirouette very often during a play-by-play. So kudos to you, sir.
Whenever you can fit that in. Whenever you can fit that in.
Kudos, Mr. Robbins.
Straight line stack, and the inbound for Capadonna. Right away to Galiak. Pops off a 3 in the right corner, won't go. Loose basketball, run down by the Panthers. Another opportunity on the possession. Galiak. Lots of time, decides to dribble as Smith steps up on defense. Galiak drive, kick, Capadonna 3. Right side, rims out, no. Tipped by Helly Monville, seeing her first action of the night. Down floor for Finnegan. Pops up a foul shot jumper, and it goes. 11-2 goes Leominster's lead.
Finnegan not shy about shooting the ball tonight, that's for sure. She's on. Good to see.
2:10 to play here in quarter number 1.
Oh,
Hennessy.
Rusty's not driving that one.
Chucks that one, a fastball over to the far side, looking for Capadonna.
Almost
I
took
bet
out.
she plays softball, too.
Indeed,
Check the water cooler, Maddie.
She does, I think, doesn't she?
Looks familiar.
I think she does.
Yes.
That's an outfield throw if I've ever seen one.
Indeed. Finnegan comes over half court for Adams. Adams from Monville, working on a triple team. Goes back out for Ivana Akacheri. Around for a Grace Adams running push shot. And it will go. 13-2 Leominster's lead.
They got everything working both ends of the court right now.
The only thing I'm a little nervous about with Leominster is when they're trying to get that pass into the paint near the foul shot line. Right now they're telegraphing it, and Marlborough's jumping those routes.
Indeed they are. Finnegan stuck a foot out there, didn't get called for the trip, got called for the kick ball. And so it'll be a Panther possession and a fresh shot clock.
Notice the Blue Devils are running a 2-3 or a 2-1-2. They're playing that extended out to the 3-point line. Getting a hand in all the Marlborough girls' faces out there. They know they're not afraid to shoot.
And Kate, how do you break the 2-3 zone?
You get it right in the middle of the foul line.
Indeed you do.
The only reason I know that is Syracuse plays a 2-3 zone.
Indeed they do. Shot popped up. Galiak's 3 is off the mark. The logo, of course, in college basketball
Get it
is
to the logo.
the conference logo is right inside that foul line. That's usually the sweet spot.
Well, and you're seeing Leominster do the same thing, but they're telegraphing that pass to where that logo would be, and Marlborough has been jumping that passing route.
Monville can't hit the jumper from the left side in the final minute here of quarter 1. Back down floor, that's Viva More, got a hand on it. Capadonna kept with the play, got the scoop shot up and missed. Monville battles for the rebound and brings it down. An outlet for Adams. There was contact with Elna Mari, but they say she walked with it first.
Got to give her room to turn there. Looked like a defensive foul to me. Maybe we got to get these officials' names. What do you think?
No. Leave the zebras alone.
Now.
Far too early for
It's
that.
usually Todd that's getting in trouble. I'm just trying to take some heat.
It's very
Scapegoat. Scapegoat.
Gene Steratore described that same thing you did, Bill Thomas. You got to, possess the ball and have that chance where you become a runner. There's a jumper for 3 for Alna Mari, buries the 3. And the Panthers back in the basketball game. The Leominster lead is 8 at 13-5.
Oh, they hadn't been on the scoreboard for quite a while. Beautiful pass.
Galiak knocks it loose. Capadonna wipes out. Loose basketball. Finnegan there. Unsettled
Girls
situation.
everywhere.
Galiak finds Capadonna into the basket. Lays it in and good. And the lead is 6. Ugly. Some pushing and shoving between Finnegan and Capadonna as a football game breaks out. Inside, Viva More feeds Monville, and she got pushed from behind.
Capadonna thought that she was tripped or pushed by a Leominster player, but I believe she tripped herself. I don't think that there was any contact there. But she took it personally, and she was going to let somebody know.
A Brady there when he was scrambling.
Yep.
Got it tangled up in his own feet.
All right, so that is going to be Ornwich's first, team third for Marlborough.
Ball was tipped on the inbounds. By the way, lots of number changes out on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm taking note of as this continues with these new uniforms.
Oh, yeah, the Akachiris.
Into the corner we go. And Al Namari tipped it down, loose basketball, and the first quarter will end kind of the way the entire quarter was played.
Very chaotic.
Indeed it was. Through one quarter from the gym at Leominster High School, the score. Leominster 13 and Marlborough 7. We'll settle on these jersey numbers. Bill Thomas, give me your thoughts on quarter number 1.
My thoughts are great, even though it was a little sloppy, great first quarter for Leominster on both ends of the court. To only hold high-powered Marlborough team to 7 points. I know they're missing one of their top scorers who got injured a couple games ago, but still a testament to a great first quarter to come out with a 13-7 lead.
All right, so let's update you on those numbers here now that I've had the time. Skylar Finnegan still wearing Uno. Giovanna Smith still wearing the Deuce. Faith Akachiri has changed her number from 14 to 25.
I saw that. 2
Grace
25.
Adams is now wearing 12, changed from 20. Haley Monville is wearing Larry Bird, 33 instead of 30. And Destinia Vivamore gone to the Syracuse University legend of 44. She's wearing the
I'm
pair
glad
of
you
fours.
recognize these girls.
I
would be
make
just,
some corrections.
it'd be
So
like
that
football
means-
to me.
Kaya Curly White, I believe, is now 23 instead of 25 because Faith Akachiri
It'd be
has
wearing
taken that
25.
over.
So we'll.
We got to talk to Rusty about that.
I was gonna say.
No, we got it.
No, we got it. We're doing
But,
great.
you know, I wonder if
Ivana's still 22.
Yeah, she's
you know, I
still
had a
wearing pair of
pregame roster from the ticket table. I wonder if they had the numbers right there. I probably should have grabbed that. I'm like, nah, Todd's always on
Well,
top
I mean,
of this.
I've got no problem recognizing
always
all the
on top of it.
faces.
I think that's
but
everybody.
Yeah, I think we got it.
So we got a quick 5 points here from Marlborough as they closed out that first quarter. One thing I wanted to point out that I got pregame is, and we saw there in Marlborough's offense, they won what Coach Fredericks called a 4-and-1. They got 4 girls that are out the three-point line and 1 girl inside. Kind of hard to work that inside game that Kate talked about when everybody's outside.
Oh, boy.
Indeed.
That's
Finnegan
a push.
and Capadonna, it's going to be chippy for the
gonna
rest of
get
the night.
nasty.
That's the second two-hand push. It's been one each way, so we'll see how that continues throughout the night.
Neither called.
Indeed, Finnegan the drive and the reach in for Capadonna. We certainly know that.
And if Capadonna rings a bell, that name
Yes, I was gonna
references
say.
a football running back that we're familiar
Owen
with
Capadonna.
from Marlborough days. So
Indeed.
probably a little bit of that in Lucy. I don't know if it's a sister or a cousin, but we're seeing some of that same
Fire.
same energy.
Passion.
Yes.
Passion indeed.
Capadonna picks up her first, team 4th of the first half.
Smith with the jumper off mark. It's kept alive by Al Namari. She tried to spike it off of Faith Akachiri, whiffed on it all, and out of bounds it ends up, and the basketball stays with Leominster. Just 30 seconds into quarter number 2, score still 13-7, a Leominster 6-point lead, and yet it feels like we're in the middle of a prize fight, and they're
Yeah.
swinging in the middle of the ring.
Ooh,
A lot of contact. Full
this is why I
contact
didn't play
basketball
this sport.
tonight.
I just swing at somebody.
Personal space bubble issues galore.
I don't like people near me.
The underhand
We know
for
that.
Adams for Smith, wide open straight away 3, cannot finish. Vivamore swatted it, and out of bounds it goes, and the ball back to the Panthers. Full court pressure again from Leominster. Panthers with a simple press break, just brought it down the right sideline.
Running that 4-and-1 like
There it is.
we expect.
Al Namari 3 from that right corner. Lots have tried it, no one successful. That one missed. Around it goes to Galiak, straight away 3. She finishes, and all of a sudden, what had been a 9-point Leominster lead is now just 3 at 13-10, 6:50 to play in the second quarter, Kate.
Well, I was just going to make a correction for you. It was the second 3-point shot made for Marlborough. I was going to do it silently.
No, I
but
appreciate that. No, I was talking about from that spot.
Oh, from
They've
that
been trying
spot.
that spot and trying that spot and trying that spot and hadn't been able to get it to go. No, yes, it was their second 3 of the night. Swatted out of bounds. Galiak trying to get a hold of Smith's pass. And Leominster will maintain possession. 24 to shoot, 6:33 to play in the second quarter. Here's the inbound. Akachiri on the drive, won't go, tries to keep it alive. Monville comes down with it. Faith Akachiri, a little head fake, drives to the paint, kick for Smith. Smith, the step through, got bumped, and Smith's going to the line to shoot 2.
Good job there, taking charge down the middle. Nice job by Haley Monville, though, keeping that play alive there with that tap rebound. She's very active under the boards and still got a year to go in her basketball career. She's still got some growing to do, but she's having a very good game coming in as a 6-man tonight. It's the 6th woman, first person off the bench, showing some spark.
Messina picks up her first, team 5th. This is the first time Leominster's been to the line tonight.
And Smith misses the first. And she has been one of the more consistent free throw shooters in the games that we've seen this season.
Yes.
Violation.
Yes.
I'll tell you, Galiak did everything she could
I don't
to
think I've
not
ever
have that
seen
lane violation.
That was
That
awesome.
was funny.
And she
they
Good
let it go.
effort. Good
well,
effort.
the
Yeah,
free
got
throw
it.
was
Let it go.
made,
Yeah.
and so it continues.
Yeah.
Great effort by Galiak to
That was
try
funny.
to stay in her lane. Whew, that was effort.
Trey, awesome.
Turnaround shot will not go for Orentlich. Battle for the rebound is a held ball between Messina and Akacheri. Alternate possession favors
That
the
was
Panthers.
Billy's
That was
tired.
like slow motion, and I think Fake kind of gave her a little shot fake when she tried to lean in, and it was like a tree.
Just down goes
Timber.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
it's
love
all
it.
Mary's timber. Oh, the effort. Galiak, meanwhile, right back with the three. Too strong.
If a tree falls in a
And
forest.
the rebound is for Smith. In that case, everybody saw it. Down it goes, loose ball. Picked up there by Orentlich. She outlets for Capadonna, and Capadonna steps on the gas. Capadonna plays Bill Thomas with that reckless abandon that we would recognize from the family lineage.
Yeah, she's got that running back attitude, even, dribbling the ball, looking for a hole, so to speak, somewhere to make some forward progress.
I thought she was a little bit more like a linebacker. She's just going to come right in,
On
right in your
defense.
face.
Wow, Galiak not afraid to step back and drain a three there, and all of a sudden it's a one-point game. 3-pointers abound for the Panthers. They've bombed their way back into the game. 5:15 to play in the second quarter. It's 14-13.
They were dying by that in the first quarter, but it's brought them back into the game here in the second quarter.
One lives by the sword and dies by it, Bill
Absolutely.
Thomas.
We knew that they would keep shooting them.
They're living now.
We heard that pregame. They'll throw them up from everywhere. Running
Yeah.
what they call that 4-1. They've changed to a 3-2 now. Going to work it inside a little bit maybe.
Capadonna drives to the left elbow. Kick Alnamari to the foul line. Right back to Capadonna. Got some space for a three. Misses everything. Battle for the ball. Grace Adams dribbles out of trouble with it.
10th missed three for Marlborough.
Adams, strong swing for Smith. Slash down the left baseline. Well off the mark. Monville kept it alive to Vivamore. Back to straight away now. Adams drops it off to Vivamore. Three with the contact. No foul call, but she got the three.
A lot of
Monville gets
contact
up
after
limping
that one.
there. Comes up lame.
Yeah, she landed hard
She did
and
on
she
the
kept the ball
rebound.
alive.
Yep. She's a gamer.
There's the drive to the baseline. Alnamari
Heyo.
tries the reverse scoop. It won't go. Got her own rebound, though. Shot up, missed again. Monville gets the ball and her arm back on the rebound.
Wow. A little aggressive there. I love it. Get off
Halfway
me.
through quarter two. Inside we go.
Nope. Travel.
Akachiri hesitated. Traveling violation. Ball back to the Panthers.
Little shuffle there. There, Monville showing some fire there. Get off of me after she had that ball.
Coach Fredericks with a full line change, or at least 2/3 of a line change there. Kaya Curley-White back into the basketball game, as is Ivana Akachiri and Skylar Finnegan. Here's the drive. Capadonna scoops it up to the glass. Got some help from the iron, and down it goes. 17-15, Leominster's lead. 3.5 to play, second quarter.
Nice little shovel scoop layup there in the traffic.
Curley-White over her head, drops it inside Monville. Scrapes glass and gets it to go, and the lead is 4 once again.
She should be able to do that every time down the court. Or at least I'd like to see her try to do that because she's got that position and that quick move down the low block.
Good things happen when you hit the small square on the big square. Alnamari steps inside. Sweet little mid-range jumper goes. And the lead just 2 with 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Curley-White now for Adams. Back at the center circle, handed it off for Finnegan. Right back to Adams. Deep three, more of a line drive, strong. Monville got the rebound, one bounce, got the shot up, and it will fall.
Nice job by Haley. Same spot.
Ooh, play defense. Play defense.
Coach Rusty Frederick with the play defense motivation from the bench. Into the corner, Capadonna, head fake, drive, got some room, laid it in and good. Good strong take there from Capadonna.
Good ball movement. Work the perimeter and find that opening.
21-19, 2:15 to play in the second quarter. Inside, Monville tried a little hook shot. That won't go. And Galiak's got herself a rebound.
Something new there, a left-handed move there from Haley. I don't think we've seen that.
Ambidextrous.
Indeed. Galiak drives. She got fouled before the shot.
Trying to split the defense there.
And Finnegan got billed for the foul.
Finnegan will pick up her second. Oh, wait, no. They gave it to Grace Adams.
Grace Adams got billed for the foul. I saw the 1-up from the official.
And they're still using the number 12.
Yes, indeed. So far as we know.
No, she is 12
Oh, she
now.
is 12, that's right.
She is 12.
I'm looking, you got both numbers written there, Todd. I can't
Correct.
figure you out.
Shot is away.
12.
Battle for the ball. Out of bounds.
20
And Panthers keep the basketball.
20th missed shot for Marlborough in the first half. 11 of them from three-point range.
So they will keep firing them up.
Live and die.
Isn't it up?
Alnamari, head fake, back outside the arc.
Coach Frederick's on. Hands up, hands up.
Why would
even
you
out
put
there.
anybody in the paint?
Inside, Capadonna
why.
stepped through, got the shot and missed it. Ivana Akacheri with the rebound. Outlets for Finnegan. 4-on-1 down the floor. Finnegan takes the shot, missed it. Ciara Shanahan crashes on the rebound, out of bounds, and Leominster keeps the basketball. 90 seconds to play here in the second quarter. 21-19 Leominster's lead. Vivamore back in the game. Curly White out on that horn. Ivana Akacheri will handle the inbound duties on the box stack. Vivamore ends up in a triple team. Held ball is the call as Galiak came over her head to tie her up. On the alternate possession, it favors Leominster.
Some colorful language out there tonight. Those are words I'm not supposed to hear.
Finnegan, 3 is off the mark.
Nice
Faith
tip.
Akacheri kept it alive. I thought it got the blue the first time it hit the floor, but it definitely did the second. And the ball goes back to the Panthers. 1:18 to play in the second quarter. 21-19 Leominster's lead. Galiak with lots of space, comes for Capadonna. Drive left elbow, kick. They drop it off with Arentlich. Arentlich, deep setup for Galiak. Buries it from the volleyball
So
strike.
that was a 30-footer right there.
My word.
Goodness.
That should have been worth 4.
And the Panthers have their first lead of the night in the waning 50 seconds of the second quarter. Marlborough 22 and Leominster 21. It's about 20 seconds differential shot clock to game clock. Cross court, Adams for Finnegan. Down low, Vivamore draws a double team and a foul on the
just
shot.
Beat. She's just
She getting knocked around
pulverized down there right now.
And not
Playing
afraid.
tough.
Good for her.
Draws contact and 2 shots coming from the line.
Good for her.
Marlborough's done a great job coming all the way back with their outside shooting, working a little bit of that inside action, but mostly from outside the arc.
Capadonna picks up her second, team 6th.
Vivamore's first will go, and we're knotted at 22 with 32.3 to play here in quarter number 1.
I think the JV team just got in trouble. I'm just kidding. They got told to come in the gym. Youth.
Second away for Vivamore will go as well, and Leominster back on top. 23-22. Differential is 2.3 seconds. Shot clock to game clock. Alnamari drops it off with Capadonna. Capadonna to the foul line. Step through. Scoop. Glass. No. Rebound down for Shanahan. Still a 2-second differential.
Oh
8
my
to
gosh.
shoot. Shot away, Shanahan. Now up and it will go. Shot clock off. 4 seconds to play. Panthers are back on top. Heave from half court. Gets the side of the basket support for Ivana Akacheri. And at the horn, that is the way the first half will end. It's Marlborough 24 and Leominster 23.
Wow.
Did
Good comeback
Alnamari
there.
make that last one?
Good comeback
I believe
there
it was
in the,
Alnamari inside.
in the second quarter there by Marlborough, making a game out of this. Not that we expected to be a runaway after we saw in the first quarter. We knew Marlborough was going to keep bombing from the outside, and I'm sure that Kate's got some stats that's going to bear that out.
Well, you like the transitive property of sports, Bill Thomas, just the way I do, where you can move things around. And both teams played at Fitchburg in the tail end of January. Panthers posted 47. Leominster posted 62 in their basketball game. You had some other opponents, Bill Thomas, you were looking at.
Yeah,
that
you
stood
were
out
looking
to
at
you.
the common opponents.
Yes.
But it's not so much about the common opponents because they played them a lot of times at different points in the season. But I think when you look at what the teams have been doing lately, and Leominster in their 4-game winning streak here, they've got even the game they lost going back 5 games, they put up 55, then 62 and a win at Fitchburg to start this 4-game streak, then a 49, a 52, and a 49. So they're kind of right in that range of what they're looking at to get around the 50-point mark. But they got to play a little better defense because we know that Marlborough's got scorers all over the floor, and they're coming in with a much better scoring average. And if we want to pick on their last 5 games, a 49, a 59, a 55, a 47, and a 53, all in wins. So they're in the low to mid 50s, and you got to be 50 or plus if you're going to expect to win.
And look at those season averages, Bill Thomas, that stand out to me as we are very close here in a 24-23 Marlborough lead at the half. Marlborough is averaging about a 10-point differential. They average about 50 points scored. They give up about 40 points per game. That's a 10-point win on average.
Exactly.
Leominster, meanwhile, 44 and 44. They average overtime.
Yeah. But that, and that's something
not good.
But we talked a little bit pregame, Todd. And numbers, you can spin them any way
Absolutely.
you want. But you look at the start, and at 4 and 4, and I'm throwing out that last loss that will put them at 4 and 5. But the first 8 games at 4 and 4, Leominster was only scoring 38, and they were giving up 52. You even toss in that loss of that started the last 5 games. They've improved their scoring to 53. That's a 15 points per game scoring average that they've improved by, and they're giving up 8 points less in those 5 games. So they've definitely found something to turn it around. They've found a little more scoring, but they're also playing better defense, and I think that's what Coach Fredericks has been stressing more is play defense even tonight. Don't let them stand out there in the 3-point line. We're going to play a 3-2 or a 2-3, and we're going to get out in their face. And we know they play a 4-1 on the perimeter, but we don't want to give them anything. We knew Marlborough was going to keep bombing them, and that's what they're doing. But I think what we got tonight is a ball game, and a good one at that.
Halftime here at the gym at Leominster High School. It's Marlborough 24 and Leominster 23. Maybe a slight surprise if you've been with us for the entirety of the first half. We break. We're back with more at the half here from the gym at Leominster High School. You're watching Leominster High School Hoops here on Leominster TV. Halftime courtside inside the gym at Leominster High School here on Leominster TV. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas. He's still with us. And Kate Robbins here courtside.
Time is everything.
At this point, 24-23. Marlborough on top of Leominster at a half. A game that Leominster seemed to dominate control of, even when maybe it didn't show on the scoreboard so much in the early going. But Kate, the numbers are going to bear out here. They're on the wrong side of this thing at the half.
And they certainly are. They had a 6-point advantage going into the second quarter. Right now they have a 1-point deficit, and the entire name of the game in the second quarter, her name is Galiak. She had no points in the first quarter. She had 9 points, 3 threes in the second quarter, and because there hasn't been a ton of scoring across the board, 9 points in this one makes a huge difference, particularly when they're coming so fast. Right now, Marlborough able to put points on the board, not at will, but can do so quickly because almost every single time they're going up, they're shooting for a 3. A lot of missed shots by Marlborough, but the shots that they are making have hurt Leominster.
Give us a first half stat recap there, Kate, while you have it.
Hey, why not? All right, let's take a look at team totals first for Marlborough. 9 rebounds, 1 steal, 5 turnovers. They are 10 of 32 from the field. They are shooting 31%. 4 of 15 from 3-point range. They're shooting 27%, but 11 missed threes already in this one. Individual notables for the Panthers: Alnamari right now with 7, Capanana with 6, Orentlich with 2, and Galiak with 9. They are 0 of 2 from the line. On the Blue Devils side of the ball, team totals: first 12 rebounds, no steals, 9 turnovers for the Lady Blue Devils, 9 of 22 from the field. So that means they're shooting 41%, so 10% better than Marlborough. Far fewer shots by Leominster right now. They are 2 of 8 from behind the three-point arc. That's 25%. If we take a look at individual notable statistics right now, Finnegan with 4 points, Smith with 6, Adams with 4, Vivamore with 5, and Monville with 4. Right now as a team, they're shooting 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. That's 75%, markedly better than what we've seen in previous games that we've had broadcast, but far fewer opportunities thus far. So that stat can be skewed pretty much any way you'd like to skew it. So
indeed,
why
you
not?
would. Just a couple of seconds here remaining at halftime, but I want to quickly squeeze in Bill Thomas. 24-21, Marlborough lead. What's the halftime adjustment for both teams?
24-23, so we'll give Leominster 2 more points.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it.
The adjustment, I think they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Just stay in Marlborough's face on those 3-pointers, because you know they're going to keep bombing them. You know, they're running. We saw it, Kate and I saw it in practice. They were purposely running 3-point set plays off of perimeter passing. They come out here in the game, they're running what Rusty called a 4-and-1 on offense. Yep. Exactly what we expected. And they got to keep bombing them threes, and I think that Leominster's got to extend their defense. Take your chances inside. Put Monville inside, let her control the paint, and just get out there on the 4 perimeter shooters. Keep your hands in their face and hope for the best.
Teams will change ends as we start the second half. 24-23, Marlborough on top of Leominster at the half. Yes, 24-23, Marlborough on top of Leominster at the half. A break, second half starts when we come back. You're watching Leominster High School Hoops here on Leominster TV. Second half about to get underway here right in front of our courtside broadcast position here on Leominster TV. Alongside Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Leominster TV tonight. Bradley Bedard brings you the pictures from high above courtside inside the gym at Leominster High School. 24-23, Marlborough with the 1-point lead as we get set to start this second half, and the Panthers miss on their first possession as Leominster comes back down floor. And Kate, you know, one of the things we were talking about during kind of those adjustments, there was something that you in particular wanted to see as we started the second half.
Yeah, I want to see Leominster kind of set the tempo, play with a little bit of pace, but do so they're not playing off the rails.
Capadonna can't win on the run out, and you know, Kate, playing within yourself is something to be said.
Yeah. Right now, when they are controlling the pace, you see the tempo compared to Marlborough really slow right down. And then when they are trying to play with some pace, you just see it come completely off the rails. So right now, if they're going to slow it down, then they need to get that look, use the clock. But that means it's going to be a low-scoring game, so they have to keep Marlborough off the board, which is going to be a tall task if they keep giving those looks from three-point range.
Waning seconds on the shot clock. Grace Adams got the shot away and got it on the rim, but the shot would not go. Lead is still a 1-point Panther lead. Nobody has scored just a couple of minutes into this third quarter.
Hey-o.
Shanahan thought about it from the right elbow, kicked it out to Alma Murray, who bombed up another three and missed. And then Capadonna decleats Finnegan in the backcourt, and the foul will be called against Lucy Capadonna.
A lot of action up and down here, but no points scored as we expected. Marlborough continues to bomb from three-point land. Leominster doing a good job of working the ball around, trying to get an inside shot.
Wholesale.
Kind of ran out of time there on that shot clock.
Wholesale changes coming up for Marlborough as Capadonna picks up her third, team first of the second half. I keep thinking Francis has a sock, but it's two different color shoes.
Indeed it is.
Like, girl, your sock is out.
That's Sissy Francis. She played part of the JV game
did.
with those split shoes
those are
as
fun.
well.
I like
Note,
them.
by the way, the split on the shoes, the laces are also
I love
alternating as well.
Girl looks good.
Adams with the three. Got nothing but net, but it was on the underside of the net. Ball out
I
of
was
bounds.
looking for the teammates that she traded shoes with in the JV game. Couldn't find it. But interestingly enough, and this is something else, and we get a little break. I'm going to talk about this. Go on with the game, Todd.
Next season, Bill Thomas,
Yeah.
she'll have the opposites. Shot is away. That won't go. Lost it out of bounds.
So
And the basketball
quickly here,
stays with
I think what we're seeing on the court, and Coach Fredericks mentioned this, the Marlborough team likes to play their JV girls part-time so they can get them varsity time. And they'll run 3 or 4 JVs out to run a 3 to 5 hectic, chaotic, everybody all over the court, offense and defense, just to expend some energy and then get back to the starters. Very interesting philosophy.
And that's what it
was
just
one
did.
possession.
That ball was out of bounds. It hit the basket support. No call. Held ball will be the call. And on the alternate possession, the ball will go back to Leominster. But that ball had hit the support above the basket.
And what are you going to do?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, a different philosophy from Marlborough's coaching staff. Just put them out there, get 3 to 5 minutes of chaotic energy, and,
That was like
and then
30
bring back your
seconds.
starters.
I was going to say, it almost looked like a hockey shift.
Yeah,
30
it was.
seconds back off the ice. A jumper from the left corner will not go for Giovanna Smith. To the floor goes Faith Akacheri, and a good show of sportsmanship on the battle with Galiak as they help each other up. Alternate possession, back to the Panthers.
I like to see that.
Indeed.
Indeed.
The MIAA building the complete scholar athlete. Tip from behind. Back down floor. Adams the jumper for 2 won't go.
Everybody
now
cold.
the battle. Here's Ivana Akacheri in a battle with Lucy Capadonna. Alternate possession. Back to Leominster.
Everything. Cold,
we keep
ice cold.
keep having these held balls, and that's just going to ramp up the intensity also.
5:27 to play in the third quarter. Score has not changed from halftime. 24-23 the lead for Marlborough. This shot missed as well.
It hasn't been pretty. Let's just say that.
Indeed it is
3
not.
minutes of not so pretty.
Both teams' scoring ability stayed in the locker room coming out at the half. Capadonna, now the reverse scoop, got the scrape and it goes.
Nice baseline move right there. Underhand, backhand scoop.
Capadonna up to 8 points right now. Not the team high yet. Galiak with that with her 3 threes.
Flashing, it's Adams, got a nice pass from Smith. Turnaround goes, and Leominster's on the board. We're back to a 1-point game at 26-25 Marlborough.
And that's the kind of look you like to see Leominster be able to get Adams in the paint, flash down the, ooh.
Count the basket, the step through there for Galiak. She got it to go.
Continues to shine.
11 points now for Galiak.
Wow, 28-25. That was not a continuation play. She stepped through and had the shot away as she got grabbed. Nice
Great
job.
job.
Smith
Great
picks
job.
up her team first for Leominster of the second half.
And the lead is 3 for the Panthers. Can have it a 3 the old-fashioned way for Galiak. She only scores in sets of 3. From the line, shot is away, and it goes.
And she heard you.
Indeed she did. Her lead is now 4 for the Panthers, their largest of the night at 29-25.
She has absolutely been the difference maker since the first quarter. Right now, 12 points for Galiak.
Smith runs it out to the foul line. Shot away, bangs glass, and in it goes. Lead is cut to 2.
That's the way you break the press right there. Get it up and put it up.
Capadonna sets up Francis. Back to Capadonna, a 3. She tried the same thing, couldn't, but Francis came flying in for the rebound. Francis got it tipped back to her. Now working on Adams, into the corner. This is Popovchek. Loose ball to Francis. Adams on the floor, out of the play. Francis to Popovchek. Back to Francis.
There's this second team chaos you were talking about.
Indeed, and you know what? They're running Leominster ragged. Shot off the back rim, won't go. Capadonna got the rebound, lays it in and good.
And if you can get that on top of it, if you can score points while your second teamers are out there trying to create some chaos, oh, that's going to be her 4th.
Capadonna didn't like it, but she had the little push on the step around. The body contact came first as she went to swat the ball away from Monville. Capadonna, by the way, is what we'll call the big on the floor until that horn. She was playing the center position.
And now they make the line change.
And out they go.
It's an interesting philosophy, but it's working. And it's given, the starters that little
Call it
breath.
the chaos theory.
Yeah.
Well, part chaos theory, let's
Part
think
legs.
about this for a second. Sean Mahoney is also Marlborough's varsity football coach as
Exactly.
well. You have selected packages in football that will go into the game in certain circumstances.
And they have a role.
This is his small package, and they go out and they run the other team ragged. It
Smart.
seems to be working. 31-27.
At 12-3 on their record, it's certainly
it
working.
certainly is. Monville turnaround from the right block goes.
Nice job by Haley, working down low again.
And the other thing is that if you let your opposition kind of set into a rhythm of how they're going to defend you, all of a sudden in the second half, if you bring in that chaos theory, then all of a sudden you're putting your opponent right back on their heels, and they have to make yet another adjustment in the second half. And a lot of times at the high school level, you can't really adjust as you go. That's very difficult if your starters are on the floor for the majority of the game.
Francis had the carry, and now the turnover back to Leominster. Akacheri ran into a double team as a brick wall stopped, shifted her feet. It's a walk.
She got stood up there. No place to go with the ball.
She was expecting a foul call that didn't come.
Yeah, she could have went as a held ball also. Good hands-up defense by Marlborough.
Galiak with the inbound for Al Namari. Al-Namari will run the point
Behind
and be
the
the floor
back.
leader. Yeah, a little behind the back, working on Smith. Cross
Ooh,
court.
again.
Yeah, that one was a little slow, but it made it. Got a screen from Shanahan. Now Al-Namari drops it off. Orentlich. Shanahan thought about it, thought again. Coach Shanahan reminded her she still had a dribble. He finds Al-Namari with a hand in her face. Al-Namari hits the three.
She's
And
got
Coach
10.
Sean Mahoney takes the timeout. 2:42 to play in the third quarter. Panthers have opened up their lead to 34-29.
Largest lead of the game, I think, for the Panthers. And the big people for them, Capadonna, Almanari, and Galiak, all doing what they're supposed to. The top three scorers, I call them the big three, minus their injured player, Leanne Whitem. And they're doing exactly what they need to do to keep Marlborough in this game.
I'm enjoying the chaos theory. At Assabet, where I teach, the softball program does this with their base runners. They kind of just they steal and they slap and they bunt constantly just to put their opposition kind of not able to get at ease, and you're constantly thinking of everything else going on. You don't see that in basketball very much, so I've been really impressed with this philosophy. I like that idea that it's a package system.
Yes.
That it's a systematic change and that you have a specific role if you're an underclassman. But how cool is it that if you're a second teamer, if you're a bench player coming in, you get some quality minutes in some really important games for your team, so that, goodness gracious, if you have a player go out, like a Leanne Whitem, you have quality minutes that you've already been out there running a package, and now you can be that cog in the wheel, that puzzle piece that just comes in when necessary because you've got the experience.
And the option offense is on the floor. As the JV squad out there for the most part, they strip Adams of the basketball. Galiak is the lone varsity player still out there. Galiak to the front court. Back for Francis. Around for Hennessy.
Find the names
Yes,
on that
indeed.
spot.
Into
know
the
it, huh?
corner.
Find
Finds
him.
his
It's
way
fun,
over
though,
for
actually.
Keenan.
It's interesting.
It is indeed. And
I
it's
love the
unlike anything
excitement
I've
on the
ever seen.
bench as well, how excited they are.
It's walk-on time in major college basketball where you try to find those young players who are down the bench. There's a reach-in foul there coming across. Marlborough will maintain possession.
Finnegan picks up her team second of the second half.
Bringing in the starters now.
Yeah,
The free substitution works good, too,
Oh, absolutely. It's a benefit.
Absolutely.
Offense for defense or complete line change for complete line change. Foul line extended for the inbound. Francis. Back to Galiak. Galiak on Adams. Got a screen from Francis. Loose ball to the floor. Tipped away, found its way to Francis. Inside Galiak. Underhand Shanahan.
Reach.
And a slap foul there on Finnegan.
Another quick one on Finnegan. That's going to be her team third of the second half. So she's picked up a few here within about 30 seconds.
34-29, Marlborough's lead, 1:53 to play here in the third quarter.
I know I'm harping on this, but one of the other things, when you have this kind of system, you have to have buy-in from the players. At a 12-3 record, sometimes you're going to have starters that go, Coach, why are you taking me out? What are you doing? I'm not doing anything wrong. When you get
Francis.
buy-in, that's great.
The inbound shot won't go. Kate practicing her master's voice.
There we go.
Vivamore turned around. There was a push. There was an elbow. And now there's some exchange of thoughts on the floor between Galiak and Vivamore.
Great job by Grace Adams, though, directing her away from the action. Taking charge right there.
And a couple of teammates helped Galiak step out of the trouble as well. Out of that intense situation with no technical fouls. Namari halfway down, won't go. Held ball between Akacheri and Shanahan. And on the alternate possession, Leominster gets it back. Offense for defense. Here comes the offense / the defense back out on the floor.
Bring the speed team in. Running full court pressure right here on top of it. Create some havoc.
Ooh,
Inbound.
My word.
Run over there.
Yeah, down on the play goes Papachuk. She ran into Vivamore. Akacheri down low for Monville. Didn't have an angle, hit the underside of the rim.
Too far
And
under.
Francis has got a rebound, and she takes command of the offense.
Love it. Love it.
Into the corner. They find their way to Keenan. Swing it through Hennessy. Back to Keenan now. Akacheri swatting at it. Now to the floor, loose basketball. Vivamore is sitting on it, and they say that's possession, and Coach Rusty Frederick can help out from the bench, calling the timeout.
Wow.
1:15 to play in the third quarter.
Tis getting
She was-
chippy out
She
there.
was sitting on the ball, but that's good enough, I guess.
It's like a
We'll take it.
penguin.
Coach is looking over there like, really? But I tell you, the game has gotten a little feisty here in the third quarter. the officials are starting to see it, I think. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull a couple of the girls aside and say, come on now. But
good
we
luck to them
expected
with
this.
that.
You know,
Good luck.
yeah.
You're playing
Well,
with fire.
You got to look like you're trying to control it.
Playing with
But,
fire.
you know, if you got to call a few more fouls just to get the girls to calm down a little bit. You know, we saw something break out here on a rebound. But it's all these held balls, I think. Everybody's getting hands-on balls, and it just it leads to that little extra intensity when you're trying to gain control. Your elbows are flying, and, you know, you don't know what's coming next.
1:15 to play in the third quarter, 34-29, Marlborough's lead. Officials having conversation about whether the ball was possessed or not. It's too late. The whistle's been blown, and
you already
the
done
timeout
called
was
it.
granted. So it's a Leominster possession. They will inbound directly in front of the Panther bench.
I think Marlborough is looking for a held ball there, if anything. A lot of hands, ball on the floor.
Adams will look for the inbound. Breaks a play. It didn't develop. Adams visibly frustrated, but got the inbound for Finnegan nonetheless. Finnegan floats post Monville from the right elbow now. Monville drives down the lane. Could have used the basket, but drew the foul, and Monville's got 2 coming from the line.
Nice aggressive move by Haley, though. She's not hesitating tonight. She gets the ball in that low block, immediately turning to the basket and trying to make something happen.
Nice to see her not being adverse to contact. She knows
Exactly.
it's coming. She's taking it. She'll take the foul, go right to the line, and see what damage she can do there.
Monville gets her first to go and brings Leominster to 30, cuts the lead to just 4. Faith Akacheri back into the basketball game, spelling Vivamore. Leominster High School basketball here on Leominster TV from inside the gym at Leominster High School tonight. Happy to have you along with us here on Leominster TV. Game also will be available in replay. Comcast, Verizon, on demand at Leominster.tv as well. Last minute to play here in the third quarter. Here's the drive. Alma Murray got held up, going to the ground, got the shot to go.
Twisting layup.
Akacheri to inside Monville. Won't go. It was swatted out of bounds. Last touch, Faith Akacheri. Ball back to the Panthers.
Haley, once again, just a little bit too deep on that low block. She's got to pull herself out about a foot length. Don't get trapped under that basket, but working herself into good position there.
1/10 under 41 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Capadon is back in the game. She slipped her way behind the defense and casual to the basket. Wide open lay-in goes, and the lead is 8.
That's a tough one to give up.
Capadonna playing with 4 fouls with 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
She should keep her distance.
On the contrary, I would find somebody and drive at her.
Yeah, I would. If I was Finnegan, I'd be driving that lane right now. She's following Finnegan everywhere she goes.
4-second differential, shot clock to game clock. They find Smith on the left block. She lays it in and good to make it a 6-point game. Shot clock off, 5 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Galiak up floor, looking for Alma Murray. It was tipped out of bounds. And they say last touched by a Panther. Leominster basketball. 1.5 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Alma Murray.
Here comes the second line.
And the second line will check
He
in
keeps those
to
4 girls.
press the defense here.
Keeps a ball handler out there. Capadonna stays on the court.
There are people near me.
Yeah, that set came too close to me as well. A catch and shoot opportunity here. Monville touched it. The clock never started, and it will not go. Busted out on the floor. Coach Rusty Frederick looks over at the scorer's table.
Oh, boy.
Frustrated there, but the clock never triggered. And then when it did go off, it was down. Remember, you need about 1.3, 1.4 for a catch and shoot. So really, clock starts on the first touch. It had to be a turnaround shot for Monville if it was going to go. 3 quarters in the books here from the gym at Leominster High School. 38-32, a 6-point Marlborough lead through 3 quarters. And Marlborough, who was trailing after quarter number 1 by about 6 points, was winning by 1 at halftime, now leads by 6 in the third quarter. Things are not trending in the right direction if you're wearing blue and white.
No, and I think what we saw there was just a very chaotic third quarter. On both ends of the court for Leominster, and Marlborough just employing some great strategy. You talked about, line changes or having packages, much like a football or a hockey game. We're seeing that type of substitution tonight. Something we haven't seen before in a hockey game, in a basketball
I've seen it in plenty
game.
of hockey games.
Something we haven't. I mean, this is a different type of coaching style that, and it's working very well tonight. And you know, we expected to see some of this. You know, Coach Fredericks knew that this is what they like to do. They'll spell their starters with short bursts of JV players purposely during meaningful minutes. And that energy that they're expending and causing Leominster to work really hard during those periods, I think it's paying off for Marlborough on both ends of the court.
Kate showing me some condensed points. 24 points between 3 players on the Panthers side of the basketball.
All right, let me guess.
36
or make that
points.
36, excuse me. I
Down the
times
Mari,
tables. I
missed the
Capadonna,
second
and
12.
Gilliard.
Thank
Third
you.
12. We got to work on your times tables.
Who are those 3 players, Kate?
The big 3. The 3 you
Down the
mentioned.
Mari, Capadonna, and Gilliard.
You got it.
Yeah.
Here's Francis, launches a 3, it's short. Shanahan kept it alive right into the hands of Finnegan as we begin that first possession of the 4th quarter. Finnegan forces her way across half court. Adams tried to float one in the post, and Galiak said, not tonight, out of bounds. Leominster keeps the basketball.
Tough defense, good hands-up defense, and once again, Francis just being passed all over the court.
Count the
That's
basket
and
for
one.
Monville plus the foul.
Good job by Haley underneath again.
She's got 9 points on the night.
Conversely, Finnegan, who had 4 quick first quarter points, nothing since quarter number 1. She's been held scoreless.
You know, and Haley came in at 9.2, but she's had a couple of slow games. Even though the teams have been winning, it's nice to see her get her average.
Monville can't get that one to go and complete a 3-point play. Akacheri crashed on the inbound. That's Ivana. She had the last touch, though. And Leominster comes with the full court pressure. A cardio basketball game has been developing here in the second half. Can Leominster keep up? Here's Al Namari. The drive underneath. Reverse scoop. Will not go.
They've gotten
Al
pretty
Namari
good
got
at
the
that.
rebound. And another opportunity on the possession. Chance to take another 30 seconds off the clock. They lead by 4 at 38-34. Smith swats it back out of bounds. Looked like it was off of Al Namari standing out of bounds, but they say it hit the floor first, and so the Panthers will keep the basketball at 19 to shoot. And now there's a timeout on the floor taken by the Panthers and Coach Sean Mahoney. 6:51 to play here in the 4th quarter. 38-34 Panther lead. Coach Mahoney wants points on this possession.
Yeah, they're doing a good job on both ends of the court here. Marlborough is just kind of maintaining this lead that they built up in the 3rd quarter. But Leominster's got to slow it down here a little bit. I know this chaotic line changing is really causing havoc with Leominster's game plan. I think they just need to show a little more patience. They're doing a good job working the ball around. Keep working it inside to Haley and work on that inside game, try to get some fouls. You know, if they could get Capadonna out of the game, that'd be big.
You look at the pace right now, Bill Thomas, of kind of how this game has been going. Both teams are about 10 points behind their season average for points scored. Marlborough scores about 50 a game, Leominster 44, we mentioned earlier, and both pace-wise about 10 points behind where they would normally be.
Yeah, and you throw those 3 losses out that we talked about. The Marlborough's gotten, they're averaging close to 60 points in their wins. You know, they a couple of bad losses to Groton Dunstable and a bad loss to Neshoba has affected their scoring average. But toss those 3 out, and you know, they look like they could beat anybody. They're world beaters. But you know, I think Leominster's doing a good job tonight. Pretty much what we expected. It's still a 2-possession game, and we still got almost 7 minutes to play.
Looking for the inbound. Galiak goes up top for Al Namari.
She'll take it from there.
Indeed she will. We've seen it done. Galiak certainly wasn't afraid to. Got a little screen from Shanahan. Galiak now gave up the dribble. Adams was working from off position, could not strip. The feed to Francis, 5 to shoot. Francis kicked the corner for Rencic, will not go, but the rebound for the smallest girl on the floor, and Francis again. Al Namari with it. And the Panthers in no hurry. Al Namari now steps up. Bombs away with the 3, will not go. Ivana Akacheri the rebound. Immediate outlet, up floor finds Adams. Adams stops, little underhand handoff for Akacheri. Faith Akacheri is on the bench, has been there for a while. She'll now head to the table to check in at the next whistle. They set up a Finnegan 3 from Monville, won't go. 2 minutes into this 4th quarter, 38-34, Panther lead. Francis finds its way to Orentlich. Orentlich for Al Namari. Al Namari for Francis. Thought about a three, banged it inside Shanahan. 8 to shoot. Francis will take the three from the left corner. It won't go. She understands the varsity philosophy.
Never too young to start.
That's
As
right.
a freshman, start bombing them. She's doing a good job, though, out there tonight.
Smith takes it up floor. I still like the two-shoe thing. I couldn't pull it off, but I like it.
Yeah, don't try it. I won't let you out of the house.
10 to shoot. Up top, Finnegan. Finnegan the drive. Got fouled. Couldn't convert off the front of the rim, but Finnegan's got 2 shots coming. She can make it a 2-point basketball game.
Let's see who gets billed for that.
Francis, her first team 5th of the second half for the Panthers.
About the best circumstance if you're a Panther to have a foul charge there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I'm looking at Cece Francis, trying to see who she relates to. And I think back to Pesky Koweski. Is that
Koweski.
Yes.
I mean, same type of player, same stature, same type of energy, and she brings a lot to the game for a freshman.
First point for Skylar Finnegan in the fourth quarter. It's her first point since the first quarter of action. Misses on the second, but the lead is 1 possession. It's 38-35 Marlborough. 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
She might have had one of the first 2 baskets of the game, and she's been
Yes.
pretty silent since then.
Galiak for Shanahan. On the four-corner, stall is on. Capadonna, by the way, still on the bench with 4 fouls. Alnamari, runner, won't go. Rebound, stripped from Rentledge by Monville. And now Smith through traffic across court. It's back for Finnegan. Finnegan spinning. Great ball handling skills. Did not advance the basketball. Got it back from Akacheri. Now they float post Monville in a triple team. Tripped from behind or stripped from behind. It was tipped away. She stumbled forward from there, and the basketball came loose to the Panthers.
Triple team swallowed her up.
Somebody's got to be open if somebody's getting triple teamed.
Simple math, right? If there's 3 on me, there's 2 others open somewhere.
Ask 3 before me.
Monville the battle for the rebound for Rentledge. Out of bounds sideline, Leominster basketball.
Once again, Francis in the middle of that. Smallest girl on the court.
She's
getting her
torn at
hand
it.
on every loose ball.
She's torn at it.
She's tormenting.
And she checked back out
Tormenting.
and is
Gotta
now
go
now
back
going
she's part of the
back
line
in.
change.
That was the fastest in and out I've ever seen.
Oh, that is funny. How many girls they got out? It looks like they got 8 of them out there.
All right, I am definitely convinced now it's a package deal.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's like Tornado or something like
Yeah.
that. And he
Cheetah.
calls it, and boom, they all are
Cheetah.
on
They all
the
get
floor.
up.
The shot away will not go for Finnegan. Rebound won't go for Monville. Second, make it third opportunity. Count it for Monville and a foul.
Nice job
And
by Haley.
Capadonna was in on the defense. She's not billed for the foul, though. The foul is called on Hennessy.
Lucky not to be billed for that, but nice job by Haley Monville. Put the ball on the floor, do a little turnaround, lower the shoulder, go right back up.
Hennessy's first team 6th of the second half for the Panthers. Because of these package deals, the only person that is in foul trouble for the Panthers is Capadonna. Everybody else has either 1 or 2, and that's that.
38-37, Marlborough's lead. Monville at the line about halfway through this fourth quarter to tie the basketball game.
She's got 11 points.
Shot is away, make it 12. Knotted at 38, 3:56 to play here in the fourth quarter.
I feel like all I can hear is you and the echo when everybody's quiet.
Yeah.
I can't speak
With a
at full
fantastic
Love it.
crowd on hand here at the gym at Leominster High School.
they're just
Kate,
incredibly-
I'm not entirely certain what you're talking
No,
about.
they're incredibly
The
respectful.
sounds of the game is just fantastic.
Ooh.
There's the drive for Capadonna. Got stripped. Finnegan up floor to Adams. 2-on-1 down the floor with Smith. They couldn't set it up. Into Monville in a 5-player
5
swat.
people.
They find their way out. Finnegan, a
Whoa.
runner. Long 2 will go.
Sure, I think Rusty wanted 3 out of that.
Yeah, he wanted
He'll
it. He's
take
not
the
going to
2,
get it.
though.
But he got a timeout.
Somehow Leominster has forged ahead here with 6 quick points.
That's what I was showing you. Up by 2.
40-38. 3:22 to play in the fourth quarter. Hey, feel free to just jump in at any time.
We try, Todd. We try. We wait for you to breathe.
It comes on occasion. I got this new button.
He's got gills now. He doesn't have to stop talking. He can just
He
continue.
breathes on the inhale.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good
Oh,
trick.
He can just keep
I love
talking,
it.
and he uses the new gills.
I tell you, Leominster's done a great job here battling that package back and forth and, maintaining the high level of play here, coming up with 6
I
straight
think
points.
Billy said you talk a lot.
As, I'm trying to allow him to catch his breath.
I appreciate
Sure,
it.
I've been
Beth.
talking a lot tonight. I'm doing the in-between whistle analyzing. and being quiet during play-by-play when I can. But I tell you, Leominster's done a great
I
job.
just step over both of you.
Just combating those line changes that Marlborough keeps throwing at them.
How about for these two teams? Upcoming games. Leominster goes and hosts Wachusett on Friday night. Meanwhile, the Panthers get a week off, and then they get to go to Wachusett. Those are the next two games for both teams.
And Wachusett's only 14-0.
An average 70 points
70 points a
and
game.
only giving up 36. So
36.
they're doubling up everybody. Yeah, I saw that too.
Unbelievable.
Coach Sean Mahoney
Whoa.
now is across half
Oh.
court and having a conversation with the officials.
This is a foul shot for Monville, isn't it?
No, it was a Finnegan 2, almost 3.
Oh, that's right. That's
along
right.
the arc.
Coach Frederick looks like he's agreeing with Coach Mahoney.
Yeah, it was a made basket going into the timeout.
Yeah.
So there
Yes.
was a made runner, and then Coach Frederick asked for the timeout. They should be able to run the inbound line. I'm fairly confident.
Yeah, on a made
There
basket.
appears to be some confusion.
I think they're telling them.
Try
they
to whisper
can.
before they
Yep,
can hear you.
they can. I don't know why they're moving it, though. Inbounds, you can inbounds anywhere, can't you?
Well, only after a
Oh,
made
yeah, I think
basket
he's
you can
telling
run
us.
the inbound.
Seemed
Now
like
it's
he
good.
told he could.
Not initially, though.
Perhaps they didn't
Not
know what the
though.
spot on the floor is. Come up floor,
Oh,
got it in the
nice
middle of a
play.
press. Akacheri almost jumped it, but Al Namari will find its way to Galiak.
Nice effort by Akacheri on that.
Indeed. Here's Al Namari now with the drive. Foul line. Feeds Capadonna. Step through. Lost the angle. Hit the underside of the rim.
They got
Capadonna
her.
got back into the play on Akachiri, and no, they call Shanahan as the
45.
second defender.
That's when you go, phew.
Shanahan picks up her third.
I think that Capadonna caught a break there.
Seventh foul called on the Panthers in the second half.
You're so
A
loud.
1-and-1 opportunity here for Akachiri at the foul line.
We'll be shooting the rest of the way.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Leominster's got 4 fouls to give. Shot is away. Akacheri cannot convert. Battle for the rebound. It's dribbled out of trouble by Galiak. 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. 40-38, Leominster's lead. Capadonna was wide open.
Yes, she was. I
Now the
thought she
kick.
had that look.
Shanahan won't convert from the foul line, and Ivana Akacheri brings the rebound down over the head of Smith.
Good job by the Blue Devils controlling that rebound, getting it out of trouble. A lot of hands in there.
Blue Devils being out-rebounded in this second half by quite a bit. They won the rebound battle in the first half, but right now Marlborough taking control of the boards.
Adams cycles it around, finds Smith. Down low, Monville. Step through, shot up, won't go. Monville got her own rebound. Now going to the floor, takes the shot, drew the foul, and Monville's going to the line for 2 shots.
That
Love.
pitball attitude, keep going back up with that rebound. Good
Love.
job by Haley.
Second and third opportunity specialist is Monville.
Take the contact. You know you're going to get a bruise, but prom season isn't for a while, so bruises will heal, buddy. Love it.
And Monville can't convert. 2:26 to play here in the fourth quarter. 41-38. It's a one-possession basketball game.
Tenacity in the paint has been absolutely brilliant by Monville tonight, and she's got plenty of points to show for it.
On a make, Finnegan will check in for Monville. That one goes. Leominster's lead is 3. Monville out, Finnegan in. So Leominster goes a little smaller on the floor with a little more speed. 41-38, up 3 with the full court pressure.
Use some clock here.
Capadonna gave up the dribble. Comes to the middle of the floor, Al Namari. Over half court in the hands of Shanahan.
Nice job in transition by the Blue Devils on that one.
Here's Capadonna now, strong take. They try to swat for it to Ivana Akacheri. Made basket, 1-point game, 41-40. 2:05 to play here in the fourth quarter. The weave up top, Adams lost the handle. Capadonna tried to step up for it.
Coach
17
Frederick.
to shoot.
None
Coach
of that.
Frederick says
None of
timeout.
that.
Well, and I think
Calmate.
he's got his best offensive player on the bench right there, too. He got Haley up, but no basket or out-of-bounds play to get her back on offense. That's where he needs Monville, is out there on offense, and I think he saw an opportunity to kind of bring some flow back to that offensive possession. 1:57
to play here in the fourth quarter. Leominster's lead is 41-40. Reset here. 8 fouls called on the Panthers in the half. Leominster's got a 1-and-1 opportunity on a foul. Meanwhile, still 4 fouls to give on their side defensively. So no issues there with the Panthers going to the foul line on a called foul. On the alternate possession, the arrow faces Leominster's direction. So some things facing their way. They'll have 17 to shoot on this possession. And what are you drawing up? I've got to imagine it's an inside-out, back inside look for Monville.
You got to get Haley back in the game. You got to use her strength down in the low blocks. You know, you got 8 fouls now on Marlborough, so you go into the line no matter what. Maybe you can get Capadonna in there reaching in and accomplish 2 things at once here.
Talking about Monville's contribution, she's up to 13 points. That's a team high right now.
And she's back on the floor offensively.
Working the block against Shanahan. 15 to shoot. Now inbound. There she is. Inside, back out. Adams' line drive is short of the mark. And Capadonna's got the rebound. She checks her backside as she comes across half as the Blue Devils were trailing her down floor. It slowed her from taking it all the way to the hole. Capadonna got it back from Shanahan now. Now for Alnamari. Alnamari, left elbow jumper goes. And the Panthers are back on top. Shades of the first half. 90 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. Panthers reclaim the lead at 42-41.
Did a good job losing her defensive player there. Got a wide open 10-footer, 12-footer, buried it.
If you haven't been with us all night long, where you been? This has been a dandy of a basketball game. Exciting finish to come. Monville with the step through. Missed the shot high off the glass. And the rebound down in the hands of Galliac. Adams. Off a screen. Yeah, would not reach across and play defense. Coach Frederick was looking for her to reach across and dare her. Now Monville closes off the lane on Capadonna, who goes down hard. Monville will get called for the foul.
I think that'll be a foul on Monville.
Coach Sean Mahoney wants an intentional foul there. Not going to get that call. 51 seconds essentially remaining here in the fourth quarter and a 42-41 Marlborough lead.
I think Coach Fredericks is trying to get a foul out here to try to get the ball back on without using too much clock here off of foul shots. We'll have to see how Capadonna responds here. Looks like she twisted her ankle.
Coach Mahoney's drawn the attention of both.
That's a twisted ankle. I don't want my leg going that way.
That's a hammy.
Yeah, you don't want your leg going that way if it's an ankle.
I thought she was holding her ankle, but yeah, it looks like maybe a hamstring.
Tough kid.
Trainer trying to stretch out Capadonna. Is working on bearing some weight on it. Now has some weight on her foot. She's certainly not coming out of the basketball game.
I think it was a spot foul too, so she's not going to be shooting. It was a foul on the floor.
Well, that's what I think Coach Rusty Frederick was saying on this possession.
Right.
You can reach, you can take a risk.
Right,
We've got 4 fouls to give.
Play defense.
You can't even foul to extend the game at this point because you're not going to stop.
They're not going to. You're not getting possession off missed shots. You just got to try to get possession off a steal.
Coach Rusty Frederick calls the official in the trail position over for a conversation. Asked a question, got his answer, and now they'll inbound. Galliac's got the inbound left to the basket. Breaks the straight line stack. Alnamari, wide open 3, won't go. Smith the rebound. And Leominster will bring it up the floor with 45 seconds to play. Akacheri stops. Timeout. Leominster Blue Devils. Coach Frederick says, let's stop the clock. 40.3 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. The lead is 1 at 42-41 Panthers. Leominster can retake the lead on a make.
All right, so this is the part of the game that I hate, but and they always say this. Do you play 2 for 1?
That's a great question.
Do you play 2 for 1? Do you sacrifice a good possession because you're trying to get it up now in 10 seconds so you get the ball back? I say no. And when I see people, they talk about that, I'm like, oh, come on. You don't sacrifice a possession to try to get an extra possession. They got to turn this into points right here, even if it takes the whole 22 seconds, and then let things play out the last 18, however it does.
I think if they are still down 1 here, obviously they're going to immediately foul the inbound. They can go for the strip, but then they've got to have somebody right there to immediately give the foul.
After they give up possession, but on possession now, we need a made basket off of this possession. What I'm saying is don't rush this possession because you want to get another possession.
Yes,
because Marlborough has more than 30 seconds.
Correct.
Let's get a good possession in these 22 seconds, irregardless of the shot clock, and concentrating on getting a lead right now.
22 seconds on the shot clock. 40.3 to play here in the fourth
That's
quarter.
who you need it to be with.
The inbound, Monville fed Adams. Adams got it up and good.
Nice design play right there. That was a blackboard play.
That's how you make use of a timeout. 43-42, Leominster's lead is 1. Differential is about 3 seconds, shot clock to game clock. Smith tried to pick Capadonna and couldn't. 20 seconds to play in the fourth quarter, 15 to shoot.
Get up on him. They got
Here's
fouls
Francis.
to give.
Cross court, Leominster not daring here. They're willing to play on
There
their
we go.
lead. And now Coach Sean Mahoney will take the timeout, stopping the clock. With a 43-42 Leominster lead, 11.7 seconds to play in the fourth quarter, and 8 seconds to shoot on this possession. What a basketball
And Blue
game.
Devils have 3 fouls.
To give.
That put them at 7. 2 fouls to play aggressive defense in the next 11 seconds. So let's get after it right here.
If anybody gets a clean look, if you're Coach Rusty
You better
Frederick
be
right
hitting
now,
somebody.
somebody's going
Yeah.
to take
Right,
that.
Somebody needs to
Somebody be
hit.
taking laps after
Yeah.
the next practice.
Without a doubt here, you're going to foul a shooter.
Yep.
If you've got the fouls to give, and if they can beat you at the foul line, you'll take your chances. You'd like to foul them before
Before
the
they
shot
shot.
goes
Well,
up.
I mean, you don't obviously want to foul them in the act of shooting, especially if they're out of beyond the 3-point arc. But you just want to, you got to contest everything.
Yes.
Right now. You got to contest
Absolutely.
everything. And if you're trying to trap somebody on the dribble, just grab them. Just grab them. You know, don't let them. If you double team them, grab them. Don't let them find that open player.
Leominster's in the bonus. Panthers still have got a few fouls that they need to draw in order to get themselves to the bonus. Alternate possession arrow faces Leominster on a tie-up. 7 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. 8 seconds to shoot on the possession. So it's a shade under 4 seconds on the differential.
And this one, again, if Leominster wins, this makes them district eligible.
Yes.
They want this bad because going into that Wachusett game, that is most decidedly not a guaranteed win. So if you can take care of it now, that's a bonus.
Here comes the inbound. Galliak, a lot of fakes. Finds Shanahan. Shanahan now underneath. 5 to shoot. 8
Foul.
seconds to
Jump on
play.
it.
Loose basketball.
Travel.
Traveling violation is the call as Galliak went to the floor. She gave up
Oh,
possession.
boy.
There was a little bit of contact, but no call there either way.
Oh, boy.
Leominster gets the basketball back. Shot clock is off.
Get the ball handles in there.
Give it to
5.9
Finnegan.
seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Leominster's lead is 1. An inbound and dribble it out is what you're looking for.
Oh, that's a
Smith
table.
got fouled. Capadonna gave her 5th foul.
That's a good foul.
And she'll
though.
foul out of the basketball game, so the Panthers will lose one of their weapons in a very crucial time.
I think that's a good foul, though, for the Panthers. Any chance of winning, they got to get the ball back. You can't
Yeah.
do it with a steal. You can't chase the ball.
And any hesitation whatsoever, that 5 seconds comes
Exactly.
off the clock and you're all done.
But I thought you had a good point, Todd. They needed to get the ball into Skylar Finnegan right there, let her ball handle.
Yep.
She could have dribbled out that 5 seconds right here in front of us, but it was tough to do over there on that inbounds.
Coach Sean Mahoney is going to use the maximum of what he is allotted. When your player fouls out, you get a second. There'd been a little bit of delay on the floor as it was, but Capadonna can check out. Coach Mahoney can speak to his team. He will, and then he's got to send a player in. I suspect Francis was already on the floor. He's going to send Popachak in to join the fray. 5 seconds flat to play here in the fourth quarter. No shot clock. Leominster will possess the basketball and inbound. No, excuse
Nope,
me.
it's
They've
a
got a
shot.
couple of shots coming.
Well,
here.
they got a
one-on-one.
they got a one-on-one
Coming up,
here,
yeah,
Todd. I
one-on-one
believe. So
opportunity here.
very
yes.
important first foul shot here.
Smith can make it a 2-point game, which means you can't lose on a layup. That would be an ideal situation to start.
Or lose on foul shots as long as it's not a 3-point attempt.
So the inbound coming in is on quick substitution. Ivana Akacheri checks in after the timeout. Monville out. That's offense for defense. Smith at the line. Shot away. Will not go. Finnegan touches. Loose ball. Still alive. The whistle and a
Rusty called
timeout
timeout.
granted. Coach Sean Mahoney
on.
is irate.
He didn't
Nobody
have to.
possessed the basketball there.
Oh,
The
boy.
last possession,
Wow.
it was thrown inbounds. It was bouncing around the floor. This is worth a technical foul here just for the fact that the officials blew a whistle with a loose basketball. I can certainly understand the frustration on the floor. This sometimes is why they say you shouldn't be allowed to call timeouts from the benches. The
Yeah.
officials just instinctively hear timeout. They blow a whistle. They're not paying attention to the possession. possession, if the player had to call the timeout, you'd have to possess the basketball to ask for the timeout.
And
that's
this is the second
there.
questionable timeout that Leominster has been granted. Although, to look at the way that was developed, we can't play it forward, obviously. The ball had been tipped back into a Leominster's player's possession.
Nobody possessed.
But it was headed to a Leominster player.
It was heading in the general direction
no
of
possession.
You have to have
possession.
possession.
I'm not going to defend the call.
I would love to be in this conversation and hear how they're selling this to Coach Sean Mahoney with a basketball that while we can't replay it with our technology tonight, you can wind it back and forth on your digital video recorder and see
we
that
could
that
probably
ball
tell
is
the Marlborough people
loose.
feel free to watch
No. Let them find it on their own. Billy.
2 and 1/10 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter.
What?
No, we're not telling you. No.
Leominster.tv.
No.
Leominster.tv.
2 and 1/10 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter.
I'm muting both of
43-42,
you.
Leominster's lead.
And Leominster has the ball on inbounds, I believe, unless they've changed their mind.
I mean, they granted a Leominster timeout. They don't have a choice. If it was an inadvertent whistle, they could go with a held ball. That would also favor Leominster.
Possession,
So
yes.
either way, Leominster gets the basketball back.
It's kind of odd.
Leominster goes with a line stack in their backcourt.
Backcourt. Kind of odd, but we'll see what Rusty's got up his sleeve.
Referee went to the wrong end of the floor, so
The
they'll
referees are
reverse
confused
positions
now.
back to the half court. As he was looking with how the players had lined up. I mean, you're trying to adjust to the players.
Get it in.
I can understand the reasons. The inbound for Smith, there was a
Stepped on the
push.
line.
There was another push.
Oh, boy.
There was a hand check in the back. They called her out of bounds.
She was standing on the line when she possessed the ball.
A half second
Now he wants
remaining
time.
here in the fourth
Coach
quarter.
Mahoney wants time
Coach
put
Mahoney
back
wants
on.
time. In major college basketball, in minor college basketball, you go to the monitor and you can put time back on the
That's
clock.
not happening.
This is high school basketball. There's no monitor. There's nobody tracking the clock. You're going to ask the clock operator
Did you
what
hit the
came
button?
off the clock.
Did you hit the button right away?
There's really no way to do it. That's the draws of high school basketball.
And Mike is like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, hey, I
hit
don't
it, I
blame
stopped
clock
it.
operator. I started it, I stopped it on the whistle, and now Coach Sean Mahoney wants a timeout.
How
A
many
half
timeouts
a
we got?
second. 0.5 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. They need 1 point.
What
Half
chaos.
a second. There really is not time for a catch and shoot here.
Right,
The
doesn't
clock
he
will
0.3?
expire on the catch.
That was 0.3, isn't it?
It's roughly
According to the NBA rules,
1.3 to 0.3 is usually in that range. I think to get off any kind of a quality shot, you need over a second to really pull this off, especially
see
when
how the-
inbound is
Is
going
all
to
the
be
way down there.
back court to our
Well,
left.
all I can say is if the officials give him a catch and shoot and it goes in, be interested to see how they rule that one.
It's going to be ugly. Half a second to play here in the fourth quarter.
I don't want to put the officials on the spot.
43-42, Leominster's lead.
Chaos.
They're marking kind of where the spot is. And yeah, chaos in the
Chaos.
last 2 minutes has really described it. It has taken what has been a fairly smooth and evenly contested game.
And just put it in a
yeah, pretty
pudding.
much put it in the blender. The molasses, you pick your favorite product, but nonetheless,
Chaos.
it has devolved into chaos and disorganization in what generally has been a game that has been smooth sailing.
I think we just got to avoid a home run pass here.
And that is certainly something, but they don't have time to take it all the way to the hoop. It's literally
it's right from there.
clock starts on the touch. Whoever touches the ball has got to be able to shoot it at the same time.
I think what we don't want is a throw down under the basket here for a catch and turn.
Francis will have the trigger.
Surprised
She'll
they put
inbound. Galliak got it, and the clock expired before the shot went off. Leominster is a winner tonight in comeback fashion. It's Leominster 43 and Marlborough 42. What a basketball game.
Controversial ending, but we'll take it. Little clock controversy mixed into the to the play. A little rough play there. Spirited play, we'll call it. The Leominster Blue Devil girls come out on top, and district playoffs, here we come.
Indeed, for Leominster, it is their 10th win on the season and qualifies them for district playoffs.
Tough game all around. Very chaotic finish there. Thought the officials did as best they could there, but a little quick on the whistle.
Now
They'll
down the
know it.
stretch,
Something
you got
they'll talk
to
about.
look at.
I mean,
Absolutely,
we'll
post
learn
game
it's
they'll
a
certainly have the
teaching
conversation.
moment. Absolutely. You know, it'll be interesting. I know Coach Frederickson will be over and talk to us. I already got the nod from him pregame. They join us, win or lose. So I hope you come over in a good mood.
We'll see Coach Rusty
So that's
Fredericks
good.
coming up post-game. It's Leominster 43, Marlborough 42, a Blue Devil victory by 1 in comeback fashion. We'll recap it all for you and talk to Coach Rusty Frederick in a post-game show coming up. You're watching Leominster High School basketball here on Leominster TV. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School. Post-game here now. 43-42 Leominster a winner alongside Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins, Coach Rusty Frederick of the now district-eligible Lady Blue Devils. 10 wins, Coach. It was the goal at the beginning of the year, and you climbed the mountain and got this far.
We're getting better, and I said, let's get this 10th one and keep getting better. And as the season's gone, I think it was the halftime of the Fitchburg game where we turned it on in the third quarter, and then from that point on, we've been getting much better. I mean, it's impressive. I'm so proud of those girls. They're, when I took the job, they asked why. You lost your 1,000-point scorer at 80% of your offense, a lot of seniors, and so people didn't really give us a chance. And these girls have proven it. They got a chip on their shoulder. And when I went in there tonight, I wrote on the thing. I said, "This is why I took this job."
Absolutely, and it proves it. When you look at the way the team has coalesced around one another, you could see it as the game progresses. Through that first quarter, obviously, seemed like, although it was a little bit chaotic, you have yourself a lead. By the time you reach halftime, you're trailing by 1, third quarter 6, and then all of a sudden you come back and win this basketball game by 1. That's a story of perseverance and sticking with the game.
That's a gritty win. That's a good Marlborough team, and it's, now we're getting ready. We're trying to get better, and I'll tell you, I told them in there, I said, you got to step it up another notch, another level. This is a better team, and we're climbing, and we got to continue to climb. We got a tough opponent coming in on Friday, and tomorrow we start getting ready for them. But for now, we're gonna enjoy it.
You talk about the game that you're going to be going up against on Friday. That's a 14-0 Wachusett team that is averaging 70.1 points per game. That's an incredibly formidable opponent. Then you go into Groton Dunstable shortly thereafter, another really formidable opponent. Then you have you can kind of like ease in the next few games. But as a coach, I was talking to Todd about this earlier, you have this very kind of organic and evolving thing that goes on during the season. The first goal, of course, is that 10 wins. Get your 50%, become playoff eligible, and now you need to get these girls going so that they're playing their best basketball right at the end of the season going into the playoffs. So like you said, you want them to keep building, and right now you got 2 really big opponents coming up, and got to keep working on that skill set so that by the time you get to districts in a few weeks, they're really at tip-top shape.
It's a heck of a measuring stick to see Wachusett coming in. Everyone knows in the state who they are.
Yeah.
All right, so we're playing with house money when we go into that game. We got to see if we can find a way where we do some damage to them. They're not big, so if we can get it inside, but I mean, they're just relentless ball pressure. Nothing's easy. You get across half court, they're all over your face. I mean, but it's a measuring stick, and that's a team we want to, even maybe not this year, but in the future, is to compete with that team. And
Certainly.
we want to be an elite level school team.
And of course, points are the name of the game in that case tonight. Just a little under. You finished actually about 1 point under your average. At the start of the fourth quarter, we were talking about both teams being 10 points under their average. This was an incredibly low-scoring basketball game in the grand scheme of things. Is there something you can translate out of this game into keeping Wachusett off of their 70-point average?
Whole different team coming in. Okay? It's. We have to play low. We have to try to keep them down. And, when you play teams like Marlborough or even Neshoba or teams like that, it's the points all of a sudden they dwindle. We're a good defensive team. A lot of teams in the Midwatch are good defensive teams. And so when we play each other, it usually bogs down, except for the elite team. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll try a little whatever. He's probably watching this. So
Don't say it. Don't give it away. No teasers.
He's a Leominster guy.
Coach
No
Jim
teasers.
Oxford is a routine viewer of these broadcasts.
We got you, Coach Oxford. We got you.
We do know about that. We'll ask you one more thing about this basketball game before I let you go, Coach. How about the luxury of Coach Mahoney being able to run an entirely different, younger, faster tornado package out onto the floor and basically run players ragged all over the floor trying to play catch-up? It showed, obviously, tonight. Your conditioning was excellent, able to hang in this basketball.
Yeah, I mean, we were ready for it. I talked to earlier before the game about that. They bring in and their mosquitoes are all over the place. You know, it's like, boom, get them off of me. But
the swarm.
this is what he does, and it's a great approach. I mean, if they, you know, he told me, you know, sometimes we get a couple turnovers and then we turn the ball over. So, you know, we were prepared to just spread the ball out, but once we made one pass, we were able to go. But still, they were effective.
Coach Rusty Frederick, year 1, season 1, 10 wins, district eligible. Congratulations to you and the girls. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for that Fitchburg doubleheader coming up.
Awesome. Can't wait. And thank you. And I'm so proud of these girls.
That's
It'll be
awesome.
a lot of fun in the playoffs.
Thank you so
as
much,
well.
Coach.
43-42, Leominster a winner. A quick break and back for a final word here at the gym at Leominster High School. You're watching Leominster High School basketball on Leominster TV. Post-game continues inside the gym at Leominster High School. Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins, now joined by Leominster High School junior captain Skylar Finnegan. Skylar, welcome to our courtside position.
Junior
yes,
captain.
Playoff eligible. Just had Coach Rusty Frederick in here. You weren't far away. It was the goal. I mean, every season you've got to have a first goal, and this was goal number 1, and you guys achieved it tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been working so hard in practice this week, and we wanted to get this earlier on, but I think it feels better getting it later on now, and we're all like playing a lot better together, and I don't know, it just feels really good.
You've had the luxury now of 3 years, starting as a freshman and then obviously as a sophomore and now into your junior year.
Yeah.
You've seen both the program progress. You've had the tutelage of a couple of different coaches, developing your skills, opportunities obviously in AAU basketball as well. Talk about your personal growth and development in your journey through these 3 years.
I think mentally I've gotten a lot smarter with the game because freshman year I was always like freaking out and everything. So
Honesty,
honest.
we appreciate honesty.
now I feel a lot more comfortable, and like everybody's just working really hard together, and I think we're just like meshing really well together.
Now that you're in that leadership position, what types of things are going on, you know, maybe even away from coach, things that are going on in the locker room, things you girls are talking about? I mean, to have 6 wins in a row, that takes, you know, quite a bit of work and teamwork together. So what's going on in the locker room? What are you girls talking about that's really making you successful? You guys started out 4 and 5, and you've ripped off 6 wins in a row. What's been going on?
We've kind of just been like pumping each other up. Like we'll like have coach like leave the locker room sometimes. And then
Bye,
we'll
coach.
Just, and we'll just like all talk and like get each other really hyped up, and like we all just talk to each other as a family, and it's just really helpful for us.
Lots of positivity then coming out of that locker room.
Yeah.
That's huge.
The family got a new wardrobe as well, we noticed tonight.
New
How about
uniforms.
the new uniforms? I'm noticing a new warm-up here, I believe, combination as well.
Yeah.
So you're looking good.
Gotta have the swag, right?
We'll give credit to that athletic director as well. We'll give Coach Palazzi a plug as well. Skylar Finnegan, thank you so much for joining us courtside as well. More as we continue here from the gym at Leominster High School. You're watching Leominster High School basketball on Leominster TV. A final word here at the gym at Leominster High School, 43-42. Leominster with a victory and their 10th win on the season. They become playoff eligible in girls basketball. Bill Thomas rejoins Kate and I, and Kate will give you the first word on this one to wrap things up. The final stats here as we've talked to a very happy Coach Rusty Frederick in his first season, and Skylar Finnegan, the junior captain as well.
All right, let's start first with the Marlborough Panthers side of the ball. Team totals first. Aldemari ends the night. Well, actually, team totals. Let's try that again. 27 rebounds, 1 steal, 15 turnovers for the Panthers. They shot 18 of 59 from the field. That's 31%. 5 of 29 from behind the three-point arc. That's 17%. Their percentage from three-point range from the first half to the second half dropped 10%. So that kind of becomes part of the differential, particularly in the second half. They did out-rebound Leominster in the second half, so I kind of attribute both of those numbers to the back and forth. Individual statistics for the Panthers. Aldemari ends the night with 14. Capadonna with 14 as well. She did foul out in that game. Orenlich ends the night with 2, and Galiak ends the night with with 12. She did have a team high after the third quarter. As a team, they shot 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. That's 33%, and they end the night with the 1-point loss to Leominster, 43-42. For Leominster team totals here, 21 rebounds, 15 turnovers for the Blue Devils. They shot 17 of 45 from the field. That's 38%, and they shot 2 of 13 from behind the three-point arc. That's 15%. Billy, this one's for you. 7 of 14 were the Blue Devils from the charity stripe tonight. 50% free throw shooting team tonight for the Blue Devils. Finnegan ends the night with 7. Smith ends the night with 10. Adams ends the night with 8. Vivamore ends the night with 5. And Monville ends the night with a team-high 13 points for the Lady Blue Devils in this one. Every point counted. Every point was necessary. They needed every single contribution. And as you said, had they not been able to make it work at the free throw line, they're not winning this game.
No,
and you talked about that earlier.
50, I mean, we've seen them under 50% in most of the games we've done. And to get to 50%, that's an accomplishment within itself. I saw the girls practicing from pregame from out behind the three-point arc, and I'm thinking, go to the charity stripe.
Come on.
That's where you should be. Get those free points.
Yeah,
That nobody's standing in your face, but they made it pay off tonight. It's nice to see them make some free throws, and turns out to be the difference in the game.
It appears to me to be the kind of the change or the opportunity here. And statistically, this doesn't work so well, or certainly it doesn't work, from a basketball logic standpoint. But if you limit your opportunities, it's a lot easier to increase your percentage. So only 14 free throws, you make 7, you got a 50% percentage. Versus earlier in the season when they went 3 for 31. So those 31 points would have been really nice to come home with.
When you lose by 10,
off.
but you miss 20 foul shots, that's something you talk about in practice.
Absolutely.
But Kay, you touched on something, a very surprising stat, that Marlborough only went to the line for took 3 foul shots. As active and overactive the game appeared to be at certain times. And I was talking to the official a little bit at halftime about, and he was talking about letting them play. At one point, every girl was on the floor within 15 seconds chasing the same ball, it seemed like. And
it was a scrum.
But he's like, hey, we're just going to let him play. And he actually, before he gave the ball to the girl here to put it in play, he's like, we got a pretty good game going. He said this to the girl. And I'm like, that's a nice official. He's interacting. He knows he's got a job to do, but let's keep the flow of the game. But I thought it was a good job by the officials. I know things got a little chaotic at the end, but the girls handled it well. The coaches handled it well. And I don't know if it really affected the outcome of the game at the end. We'd like to think that it didn't. We would have won anyways.
Leominster made it count when they needed to.
Glass half empty with that Bill Thomas over there.
42, a win
full.
tonight.
Half full.
Full.
Always half full.
Half full.
We were going to win the
on
game
positive
anyway.
side.
Tripped up on that one.
Let's talk quickly about Leominster's next game, obviously,
Wowzers
against
is what I have to say.
And then the gauntlet continues with Groton Dunstable. And then, next week on a Friday night, they go to Shepherd Hill, a Shepherd Hill program that's maybe down a little bit from where they've been, in years past. That's been a playoff matchup, that Leominster-Shepherd Hill game last couple of years.
We've been out there a couple of times, and I think Shepherd Hill's had their way with us in the playoffs.
Yeah,
for several years.
And I was looking at their standings. They do have a down year, but they're scoring. They're just giving up way too many points. I know it's defensively they're being hurt, but that's the proverbial trap game. But when you talk about running the gauntlet, tonight was the first stage of that gauntlet.
Yeah.
You talk about Groton Dunstable and Wachusett coming up, 2 of the top teams, in Midwatch A and B. But it all started tonight.
For our viewers, however, one thing I want to make sure that we clarify, because for the last several seasons we've been talking about the playoffs, and Leominster previously been part of the Western Mass playoffs.
Yes,
so are
exactly.
Shepherd Hill and Leominster now back in Central
Mass? Yes, they're back in Central Mass.
That's why you haven't been hearing Todd
boys
and Billy
and
complain.
girls basketball. Yes, they are in Central Mass for those playoffs. That is
because when we've gone to Shepherd Hill in the last couple of playoff berths for the girls, that has been a Western
Mass
playoff game, and so
it's
a whole
Dudley's
bizarre
not really Western Mass, I don't
situation.
At least
credit,
it's Western from here, maybe.
I was going to say credit to Laureen Sapola during the end of her tenure as athletic director. Going down and lobbying to get that rectified, and obviously Coach Palazzi, now the athletic director here, has certainly
they won't
been
make that
able
mistake
to,
again.
Keep that going so we avoid any of that. I think the MIA has sorted out the playoffs from that standpoint. What, were you just bored? I hadn't taken my shot at the MIA recently.
Well, I mean, people get worried if Todd's not negative about something. They're like, what? There's clearly something wrong here. So I just wanted to clarify for everyone, because there hadn't been a soapbox moment relative to the MIAA and a playoff system that was a systematic snafu. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody
at least
knew.
not since football season.
I was going to say, not,
Give him
not
time.
in recent months.
Give him time.
With that said, Leominster and Fitchburg is our next broadcasts here, both boys and girls. It's a doubleheader coming up in 2 weeks' time. On Monday night, February the 18th, it's President's Day. It's a great day to do a lot of things and check out a rivalry basketball doubleheader. It'll be right here at the gym at Leominster High School. A 5 o'clock tip-off for the girls, Leominster and Fitchburg, and then a approximately 6:30, 7 o'clock tip-off for the boys doubleheader to follow on the back half of that co-featured main event. Coming up on Monday night, February the 18th, it's a Leominster-Fitchburg doubleheader right here at the gym at Leominster High School. The price is right, as is the competition. Come on down and be a part of that one. We'll see members, I'm sure, of both communities in what will be a packed night here, I am quite certain. For my broadcast partners, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Bradley Bedard for Leominster TV, we say thank you so very much for joining us. Final score once again from the gym at Leominster High School. Maddie Hool along as well. It's Leominster 43 and Marlborough 42. Leominster's girls become playoff eligible with their 10th win on the season. We'll see them in the playoff action coming up here on Leominster TV.
He said it. I was waiting for Maddie to say it.
Until next time, so long, everybody.